It's Thursday again. Pastor Karen here. I just hope everyone is doing well. I'm sitting outside today. Obviously, it's a beautiful day. This great wind and little breeze that always happens on my back porch. So always is one of my favorite places to be. I think I've said it before, but it kind of lightens my spirits a little bit to be outside. So I still like to share every week about kind of the things that I've been thinking about, and certainly I'm sure I'm not alone in the fact that we're doing a lot of thinking again. I feel like last year at this time we were doing a lot of thinking, worrying about like where can we go and how can we, go to the grocery store, and how do we wear a mask, and how do we get our kids to go to school, and how do we work, and just so many questions, and everything seemed like so planned, and even things that we had done like quite naturally suddenly required planning and thinking and maybe changing how we did things. And I kind of have found myself kind of doing that again. I kind of had scarily kind of gotten used to kind of this normal that we had with masks and physical distancing and all of that, and now things are changing again. So there's this whole thinking thing again, and trying to figure out what does it look like to kind of re-enter into this post-COVID time? What does it look like to start to gather again? Just with friends and extended family, what does that look like? How do we work differently? How do we play differently? How do we worship differently and go to church differently? What does that look like moving forward? And if I let myself think about it too much, it makes me crazy. Because I think that there's no way for me to have all those answers. There's no way for me to, really feel like I have any way of knowing what that looks like. I have a variety of devotions that I read, and sometimes I just pick one off of my shelf, and I read it, and I think, maybe this will have something to say to me today. Sometimes I just open my Bible and kind of like, do the part with your finger where you just point at a verse or a chapter, and you just see what God might have to say. And so I did that today, and I actually was reading from this really great devotion called Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. She has a really interesting way of providing a daily devotion, and she speaks or writes as if God is speaking to us. And so it can be very calming and peaceful at times to hear or to read what God might be saying to us. And so this is what I read today. And so I'll just share it with you, and then I'll share with you what my thoughts were about it. It says, "The world is too much with you, my child. Your mind leaps from problem to problem to problem, tangling your thoughts in anxious knots. When you think like that, you leave me out of your world view, and your mind becomes darkened. Though I yearn to help, I will not violate your freedom. I stand silently in the background of your mind, waiting for you to remember that I am with you. When you turn from your problems to my presence, your load is immediately lighter. Circumstances may not have changed, but we carry your burdens together. Your compulsion to fix everything gives way to deep, satisfying connection with me. Together we can handle whatever this day brings." She didn't write this devotional book in 2021. In fact, she wrote this devotional book in 2008. So there would have been no way for her to know that here in the end of May that these words might be so powerful for us. One of my life verses is Romans 8:28, which says, "Do not be conformed," this is my version, "do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when you do this, that's how you find God's will." So sometimes we have to put away what the world is telling us to do, or the surroundings and the things that are all around us, and our own anxious thoughts. And we have to allow God to transform our minds, to give us the answer, to show us the way, that God is waiting right there for us. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one, but so often I'm so convinced that I can fix the problem by myself, or I can get to the bottom of this, or if I just think hard enough, I'll find a way out of this, or if I just take an extra nap, that maybe I'll feel less anxious when I wake up. And then we need to be reminded that God is just waiting patiently with this gift that we call grace, to give to us, to help us lighten our loads, to help us to not have to walk in this world alone. So I hope today that if you're anxious, or if you're overthinking things, or if you're wondering how you're gonna navigate this new normal that we might be heading into as we move out of the pandemic, I hope that you don't try to do it by yourself. I hope that you call out to God, that you reach out to God, that just in your own quiet space, that you allow God to come and transform your mind, because in that transformation we will understand just a little bit more about who God is and how much God loves each one of us. And I don't know about you, but I could use a lot of that reassurance every day. So I pray for a peaceful week for you, for a week that doesn't require a lot of overthinking, that might be a little less anxiety producing than last week, and that when we see each other again, that we will have this deeper connection with God, which will allow us to have a deeper connection with each other. Have a great week.